I may not be interested in gambling that much, but I got some experience with some card games, and let's just say this anime just goes over the top over some pretty interesting shit. Let's get into it. And now I sound like Rich from Review Tech USA.
1, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Survivor here. Welcome back to yet another episode of Anime Review. And today we're going to be reviewing an anime that I kind of teased at the end of episode 3. At the end of my Hellsing freaking review. And it's an anime pretty much mostly, it was licensed by Netflix. We got like 2 seasons of like a year apart, and don't be surprised if we get a season 3 by January 2020. And let's just say that this series, it's pretty special in its own ways. I've been kind of hinting at this shit because fuck it. This anime, Kakegurui, it's just over the top in all the right ways, but God, it's, in my opinion, it's just much more than that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get straight to this. Judging from that opening, you're probably wondering, dude, this is kind of weird, and if y'all haven't seen the anime yet. Let's just say that Kakegurui is one of those series that it's more about gambling. It's one of those gambling series, and if you don't know any gambling anime, there is Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, and that's like more of a grounded thing, and that's at least for what I heard. And I even saw some clips. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Kakegurui is more over the top and cartoonish looking and shit, and it knows it. It fucking embraces it, and I fucking love it. So Kakegurui is a drama. It's more of a drama in a school where gambling is like the main attraction, really, and we got our main lead, or at least like at first, Ryota Suzui pretty much explained to us in the very first episode on how the school works, and he got himself into some tough shit. Well, the real main lead comes in Yumiko Jabani. This bitch is just over the top and just is addicted and loves gambling. She loves the risk, and just when she comes, that's when shit gets real with this series, and that is just when the series just goes into that direction of just Yumiko just wanting to gamble, even against like some of the higher ups if she really wants to, just for the fucking hell of it. And even though like she won't do it immediately, she'll definitely want to. It's just fucking insane, because this girl's just fucking crazy. It's to the point where it's throughout the show, people start to refer as like some sort of supernatural being, like as she kind of acts like one, just goes crazy and shit. And really, she's just really observant, and that's just pretty much what this show does. Is really, like, Yumiko shows up, and when there's some people trying to cheat in these things because of their own special ways of fucking doing these games, she calls them out on their bullshit, and that's just what this is. It's Yumiko the show. It shouldn't be called Kakegurui. Done. Okay, jokes aside, what about the show as a whole? Because that's pretty much the premise of the show. Yumiko's shows up and starts gambling, and she has a fucking risk fetish, apparently. If I had to say something about, like, when it comes to the story of the show, it's not really anything original, but it's still interesting to see, because, we always like that story where it's the new guy that shows up, it starts going from the, keeps getting higher and higher up to the ranks. Even though Yumiko was never really interested about joining the student council that runs the school or anything, like, she's thought about it. I think she's obviously have, but she just wants to gamble, and that's like Holy fuck, that is similar to Goku. Like, all the dude wants to do is fucking fight. He's got the advantage of like being up at the top if you want it. But what Kakegurui nails with the story is how intense the fucking gambling scenes are. Like, when people start making their moves and the facial expressions, like, shit's about to get real, and I love it. And the anime does break off into it's like each episode or 2 episodes, more 2 episodes as season 1 goes along, that into story arcs that are like an episode or 2 long, and all stories are pretty interesting because she does get to pretty much every council member. But the thing is about Yumiko is that, and what people feel like is going to get boring, is that she'll win all the time. She's a character that cannot be beaten or some bullshit. Because like I said, she's really, really observant of what to do and calls them out on their bullshit and possibly wins. But the thing is, Yumiko doesn't always win. And even though it's a rare occasion, there's even times where in the show that she does tie. I'm also including season 2 and shit. She doesn't necessarily always win, and it's always surprising, to see some shit go down here and there. It's some interesting, because you can't always have the main character win in some way. And there are even times where she doesn't even figure out about one thing. Like, it's in the 3rd episode where she doesn't really figure out about this one thing until at the end of the episode. Because she wouldn't have noticed it until then. So the story with Kakegurui, it's not that, like, I mean, it is interesting, but at the same time, like, it's not that original, but it's still entertaining to go through, and I definitely would watch it the whole season again, because again, it's the direction with the characters and how the story goes. That's pretty interesting, because the characters, they're a different story. Yumiko, like I said, I pretty much called her at the beginning of the review. Yumiko is just, wow. I just got nothing to say. I fucking love her, but at the same time, like, when she goes into that just addiction, like, to the risk of gambling, it's fucking awesome. It's when she shows her true colors and everything. And, I gotta mention something about the show when it comes to the story related. Everybody, like, Heavenly Controller summarized this perfectly. Everybody's some lying bitches. Like, everyone hides behind this, because like how the characters start looking, they look normally, they look kind of, very anime-ish, but when they start revealing their true selves during the matches, their faces start getting like really, like, ugly-ish in a way, and I feel like that was definitely intentional. Because when people show their true colors, it's when shit just gets ugly. And even when they're like, yeah, bitch, it just goes into that face. And yeah, that's awesome. That's really an awesome design choice in terms of the animation, because that is fucking true. Like, when you reveal who exactly, like, the type of person you are, all these things, that's when shit kind of gets pretty ugly real quick. It's not always bad though. But so many people here in this anime is a bunch of lying bitches, so. And what I also love about season 1 is that everyone's got a way to cheat, okay? That's what makes it interesting, because, like I said, because back to Yumiko, when Yumiko catches them on their bullshit because of how observant she is, and I mean, she will call them out on their bullshit and just starts kicking their ass while she's at it. It's fucking awesome. For the most part, anyway, but she's still very, very observant and knows exactly what to do when she wants to, anyway. Now, what about the other characters, like Ryota? Ryota, I'm a bit mad. Like, he's kind of the generic male anime character, and honestly, it's just kind of a bit disappointing a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but let's say, like, as the series kind of goes on, especially like during the Midari match and the final match, and in one match in particular in season 2, Ryota is starting to become more like Yumiko a little bit, but just not that much. He's still kind of there, and he's always been kind of that spokesperson to Yumiko and the audience, and like what exactly is different about this part of the school and everything else and what goes down. And that's just kind of made him really generic. And I don't necessarily hate him, but I don't necessarily like him that much either. But I still really liked him at the end of season 1 the most, and I imagine season 2. I just feel like as the series goes along, he's starting to become a bit more likable as he starts kind of becoming his own a little bit. So, but then again, season 2 was kind of like the first half of a storyline that is going to be obviously resolved by season 3, obviously. So, who knows what we see of Ryoza then? So who the fuck knows? When it comes to like other characters like Mary and even the student council president Karari and Yumemi and Midari, like all these other characters, which by the way, those 4 I named are pretty much some of my favorite characters. I can't even necessarily remember everyone's name because again, I haven't really been watching a lot. I haven't watched Kakegurui in a while, but I really want to make this review because I really do love it. Let's just say that right now, I'm in the middle of watching Phase Zero and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So yeah, get ready for those reviews later in the future, by the way. When it comes to Kakegurui with the characters, the cast is really fucking good. I really liked Mary, in my opinion. Like the first few episodes, she's pretty much a bitch, but she starts to become more likable. Like by the time you get to episode 4 or 5, when her and Yumiko have to team up, it's fucking delightful, and I fucking loved it. And that's when she started becoming one of my favorite characters. The student council president, even though she doesn't really gamble that much until like I said, the end of season 1, and you do see her gambling a couple times in the show, like mostly in flashbacks in a way. She's always had this, like, again, since she's at the top, she has this ominous presence. And honestly, I didn't think I would like her as much as I do. But I feel like the more they showed her, the more I started to like her and grow on her a little bit, even though she was seen as this, because she was the one that has put the school into this type of situation where she, like, wants to see, like, how a society, like, in the fish tank and shit, the life of, like, prey and predator and shit like that, and how all this stuff, because Mary even points that out, and it's just really interesting when it comes to Karari, and I honestly started liking her a lot more as they started showing her off more, especially by the end. And by the time like those couple episodes of season 2 showed up, it's at the moment I'm like, yep, my favorite characters. She's also got a really good design, especially when it comes to everyone in this fucking anime. Everyone's got like a really neat, really cool, unique design to them. Well, not really one character in particular until season 2, but that's just my opinion. Like the cast, especially when you get to season 2, it gets pretty interesting, and I sometimes just cannot wait to see like what these characters do, and because there's so many fucking personalities at this point, and it's just like, oh my god, cannot wait. So yeah, the character cast, in my opinion, I really do like them, but just mostly watch the series for Yumiko because she bae, and she fucking just crazy bitch. I'm telling you. Don't get me wrong, I love Yumiko. She's obviously my favorite character, but god, man, she crazy about gambling. She gets off the fact of a risk, and there's even a character more crazier than that. I couldn't believe it when my sister told me about that because she watched the series prior. She told me that there was a crazier chick than Yumiko at the beginning when I was starting to watch. I was like, wait, you're bullshitting, right? Yeah, I had to mention Midari. She's one of my other favorite characters, and I don't think we really need to say anything if you watch the show, but I don't really want to say anything either because it'll be spoiling the fucking experience. Also, you gotta talk about the fucking art style. Like, the art style is fucking amazing, and just the way they, like, they get close up to the eyes and shit, like, so fucking good looking. There's my cat. Hi, buddy. What's really interesting about the art style, and even the soundtrack, I really gotta mention the soundtrack. The soundtrack is just, god, when you think a scene is intense as fuck, then the soundtrack will also provide more about it to give it more tension. That I always want to give props to the soundtrack of a show to give you more of that feeling of what's going on in the scene, and Kakegurui fucking nails it with the intense moments and really heartfelt moments here and there, and all these things. Fucking love it. The soundtrack is not obviously the best, but I still really liked it, and I think it really does help the series tremendously, in my opinion. But you cannot go wrong with that fucking art style. Like I said, those when they animate the eyes and do all that shit, and just the character and the facial expressions in general, and just the animation. Like, even though there isn't that, you know, insane animation going to, like I say, Attack on Titan or Fate Zero looking shit, there's still effort put into like the details, like I said, because this is supposed to be an anime where it's gone on like that, but it knows what it is, and it takes advantage of the animation and art stuff they got going for it, and it's just fucking awesome. When it comes to season 1 overall, it's a fucking good season, a really good start to a series, and I honestly could not wait to see season 2. And then when I watched season 2 immediately after, Kakegurui season 2. Now, I gotta admit, like, that season, okay, I'm not saying like it's not as good as the first, because I feel like in some ways it's even better than the first season, because it introduces more characters, and I feel like at this point more characters than we fucking needed, but it does world build a little bit about like these bonding clans, and when they do show about that, when it comes to introducing these new characters and stuff like that, and there's like these, there are some interesting games too, like there's this one involving a fucking tower near the end of the season, one involving like trying to figure out like who's this and stuff like that. It gets pretty interesting, like some out of a fucking case closed, that episode, you know, just some really interesting, like, just mystery type shit going down. There's even one where it involves a fucking guillotine, and it's at the beginning of the fucking season. Seriously, when I first started that episode, and it literally starts off with that guillotine and shit, guillotine, it's at that moment where I knew this fucking season was about to get crazy. Even, like, just, it's just, this season just kind of goes, really just tries to go further than it needs to be, and that gets me kind of interested in what the fuck we're going to be dealing with this season 3, because it's obviously the first half of the really important storyline that goes on. In the second season, it's more focused on the storyline where it's about the election of the next student council, like, because Karari wants to give these people a chance, and you'd be surprised on who makes it up. Like, even though again it's not really that a surprise, but at the same time you kind of wonder, like, oh shit, who's actually gonna do it? Like, are people actually gonna beat her? And you're kind of wondering the whole season, and it's really interesting, like, where this election goes. It's not even over by the end of the season, so it's obviously gonna be a huge focus still in season 3, probably the entirety of it actually. So, cannot wait to see where that goes. But this season's more focused on the newer characters and stuff, so that means not really a lot new, but the old characters, like I said, Mary and Ryota do get their own episodes. I think it was episode 3 or 4. It was good to see them, like, you know, gamble, and you even see, like, that resemblance of what Ryota kind of, you know, at the end of the season, season 1. But it just really, then, like, again, you get to see other characters and their own character arcs and stuff. There's even another one with Yumemi, and in my opinion, Yumemi's one of my favorite characters as well, because of her storyline back in season 1, how it kind of continues in season 2 in a way. It's really interesting, and there's even this new character, which apparently this was an anime original character, Ray. And honestly, that the end of the season involving him, I'll be honest, that really caught me off guard. But the fact that he was an anime original character, that gets me really interested, like, to see what else they can do on their own, like with the anime studio behind it, because it's not necessarily Netflix making it; it's just Netflix pretty much licensing it, like how they did with the Fate series. They got Fate Apocrypha, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Extra Last Encore, and they got Fate Zero. They just fucking licensed it. Now, when it comes to Kakegurui's second season, it's kind of disappointing in my opinion that there isn't as much cheating involved. Like, there's still some schemings, shit going on, which does make it pretty interesting. Like, I fucking loved, like, I think it was episode 7 and 8. Those episodes. Just wondering, what the fuck? Who's scheming with this? What kind of Game of Thrones switch around shit is going on? It's really interesting, and the second season does keep it up, but in my opinion, I just find it's a bit disappointing there isn't a lot of cheating involved, because it's always fucking awesome when they try to cheat and Yumiko catches onto it and they call them out on their bullshit and she fucking owns them, at least for the most part. And it's always fucking awesome to see that. Now, we're probably gonna, like I said, more likely we're probably gonna get that more in the third season, because like I said, this is the first half of a really important storyline. So I don't know where it's gonna go. But I do hope that by the third season, get at least some cheating motherfuckers in it, because that's where shit gets kind of interesting. Do I think it's better than season 1? That's kind of debatable, because I really did enjoy both seasons quite a lot. I was addicted by just watching season 1, and I wouldn't say as much as season 2, but I still really enjoy season 2 nonetheless. And probably by then we get the conclusion of the election arc. Because by then, once we get the end of the election arc, sometime in season 3, more likely it's going to be the rest of the fucking season. That's where I'm going to draw that line of like, dude, did I like this more than season 1? Because that's pretty much what this season was about. Just individual stories within this election going on. And it's really interesting. Because, again, it does show character progression, character development from characters from season 1, still continuing on. There's even this thing going on. I don't know what the fuck this is about. I mean, I'm doing wrong. They explained it a bit, but let's say there's a thing going on between Mary and, spoiler alert, by the way, Kurari's twin sister. Like, there isn't like, like a Yuri type thing going on. It's like, I mean, I get why that's happening, but at the same time, it's like, it's a bit odd, and they don't really focus on a lot of things as of late. I mean, Ryota barely gets any screen time in this season too. So, because again, there's so many. I mean, he does get quite a bit of screen time, but not really that much. Even though he's like the main male protagonist. Again, it's given the fact that they gave us a fuck ton more characters in this season. But then again, like I said, this is the first half of an important storyline. So we're probably going to get more of that shit in season 3. More of that storyline with Mary and the twin, and more of Ryota, and more of, all these other characters that we have yet to see, Gamble. It's going to be really interesting where that goes, in my opinion. I still really enjoy season 2 nonetheless, and my sister actually pointed this out. Why the fuck in season 2, like, even though this doesn't happen a lot, but why the fuck was there, like, quite a bit of boob grabbing? I mean, it didn't happen that much, but what the fuck? I mean, don't get me wrong, the animes went to a fan service degree with literally Yumiko just going fucking, like, pretty much orgasming because of, like, this one wrist that ends up happening, like, near the end of the fucking match. And it's been in a fan service fucking thing since season 1. It's obvious. But what's with the boob grabs? Like I said, it doesn't happen that often. But why? Like, I've noticed that. I noticed that. At least they don't make any sound effects when they do it. Just make it fucking apparent or put the camera close to it like it's High School DxD or something. So overall, like when it comes like. And my points about like the art, animation, and everything else, everything still goes to season 2, obviously, and just seasons 1 and 2 in general are just fucking amazing to me. And I just cannot wait to see more. Hopefully we get another season. I just cannot bro. I really want another season at this point. I want that election arc finished, and In my opinion, this is a series that I obviously really do enjoy, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for a third season to be, renewed and all this stuff. It's gonna be fucking cool when they finish off this election arc, which again is gonna be the second. Is gonna be the main focus for the rest of the next season and stuff. It's gotta be, because that are probably the next 6 episodes, which I feel like that'd be a bit rushed. But hey, who knows? If I had to give Kakegurui a score, I would say a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it that damn much. I think it's really enjoyable. People will fucking love it. Like, again, it's not a perfect anime, obviously, but I still think it is worth a watch because it's got some really neat characters. Predictable, though, intense as fuck story, and the art animation that fucking blows it out of the water. Even though you may not like some of the facial expressions, which, like I said, it's a point of the show, and it shows these guys when they do show that, yeah. And the music's pretty fucking lit, and for the most part, anyway, but it's still pretty fucking lit. And the season 2 carries more of that and more. I mean, I wouldn't say Kakegurui season 2 is like more of Kakegurui. I feel like it's more than that. It's more of it, but in a really interesting and cool way. Because again, there is a bit of world building, just a little bit, when it comes to introducing these new characters, and there's even a little bit of a twist at the end of the season where you don't even know it, but it's showing a little bit of literally like a flashback. There's a little bit of a twist, and and even though it goes by a little bit too fast, there is a real twist at the end of the season. It's pretty fucking cool. Overall, I give Kakegurui a 9 out of 10. I would rewatch it. It's a fucking just awesome series, and I cannot wait for a third season. I can't wait to see what goes down. It's going to be interesting to see where the series goes from here, because I really do like the characters. And even though I don't really remember a lot of the names, the ones I do know I do remember, and especially Yumiko and Karari and Yumemi and Midari. They're memorable as fuck, and we all know that. In my opinion, I fucking love this series, and I cannot wait to see what goes on next. That is my review for it, and I gave it my highest score yet, a 9 out of 10, because it's not an 8 like the last one or Penny and Stocking. And I haven't finished these next 2 series yet that I'm going to be obviously making more reviews of. It's going to be Phase Zero coming up at the next episode 5, and by episode 6, it's going to be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, I'm not reviewing all of JoJo, because that would take a fucking long time to review. So I'm going to go with JoJo the original, then Season 2, which is Stardust Crusaders, or Season 3, because there is a second season to it. Then there's Diamonds Unbreakable, then there's Golden Wind. So I'm going to break those apart, as they are kind of individual stories in between shit, so yeah. Episode 5, we're getting Phase Zero for anime reviews, and in episode 6 we're doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And if I got plans for a 7th episode, it's another series which is based off a manga series made by the same person that did Hellsing. I'm pretty sure y'all can already guess on what the fuck that is. Anyway, though, hope you guys enjoyed this season. Get ready for those episodes. Like the video if y'all enjoy, subscribe if you want to see more. Comment below what y'all think. And if y'all are new to the channel, if y'all want to see more, be sure to subscribe for more. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next episode or next video that I do, whatever the fuck ever. Survivor out. Yumiko's fucking crazy, but fucking love her.